So here we go. We're going to set up RAG and a knowledge base on Amazon Bedrock. Now this hands-on is a bit more complicated than the other one. So you've learned what you need to know from a knowledge base perspective. This is just technical stuff if you were very curious into how things worked. So to create a knowledge base, we need to move away from what's called a root user. This is the root user right now we're connected to. We just see the account ID. And we go into an IAM user. So you type IAM in your services, and then you go to the IAM console, and you're going to go under users, and you're going to create a user. The username is whatever you want. I'm going to name it Stefan, and I'm going to provide user access to the AWS Management Console. Now, I know that the recommended user type is here in Identity Center. This is something we'll see later on. Right now, I want to make it super simple. So I want to just create an IAM user, and then you can use a custom password that you must know. And I'm going to just enter a password that I know. So here I go. And I'm good to go. Okay. And then we can untick this. I don't need to create a new password at login. Then let's click on next. And we're going to attach policies directly. And the one we're looking for is administrator access. So we're going to give full admin power to this user. Then we click on next and then create user. And our user is successfully created. Now we have an access to a console sign-in URL with a username and our password. So let's go into the sign-in URL right now and press enter. And now we have this new signing page. So the account ID will leave as is. The username is whatever you had before. And then the password is your actual password. And then click on sign in. So here we go. Now I am into the console. And I know that I am logged in using an IAM user because, well, it says IAM user Stefan, and there is my account ID. So now we're ready to go back into Amazon Bedrock and then get started. Go on the left-hand side onto knowledge bases and create a knowledge base. So the knowledge base name, we'll just leave it as is. The IAM permissions, we're going to select create and use a new service role. So we leave the defaults. Then we choose Amazon S3. And then we can see actually the options we have. So we have Amazon S3, but we can also have other data sources, such as a web crawler to extract data from a web page, or it could be third-party data sources, such as Confluence, where you can store your information, or Salesforce for your own CRM, or SharePoint to have a look at your documents hosted on SharePoint. But we'll use Amazon S3 right now in our little PDF file. Let's click on next. And next we need to create a data source. So it's going to be Amazon S3 on this account, and we need to select an S3 bucket. So now let's go into Amazon S3 and actually create an S3 bucket. So we need to create a bucket, and we need to make sure we are in US East 1 still. And it's a general purpose type of bucket, and you just have to give it a name. So my demo bucket knowledge base Stefan. And you see this name is very long and complicated, because if you just enter a name that is already taken, for example, test, and then you click on create bucket, you're going to get an error saying, hey, this bucket name already exists. So the bucket name doesn't exist in my account, but it exists in someone else's account. And so this is a problem on Amazon S3. The bucket name needs to be unique, and therefore you need to enter a unique name. So if you copy this entire bucket name, it's not going to work because I have created this bucket myself. So choose a name that is going to be unique to you. Then you scroll all the way down. We don't need any of these options, and we create this bucket. So now my bucket is created, and I'm going to just click on it. And within it, this is where we can upload objects. So let's upload a first object. Is going to be our evolution of the internet detailed, and click on upload. So it's a very simple interface to upload files onto the cloud. And now if we look at it in our bucket, we have one object, which is our PDF. So this is great. And now I just go back into Amazon Bedrock, and we need to select an S3 URI. So we browse Amazon S3, we refresh this, it doesn't work. Okay, so let's cancel this, refresh, and recreate a knowledge base. We scroll down, click on next, and then click on browse S3, and here we go. Now we can select this Amazon S3 bucket. So we choose it, and now this is filled. So next we go click on next. We need to select an embeddings model. So this is how to convert your data into a vector. So different options here, but I'm just going to take the one from Amazon, this Titan Text Embeddings V2, and we don't touch anything on the vector dimension. Now for the vector database, so we have several options. If you wanted to go all the way free, then you would select Pinecone. Because Pinecone, if you go on the website of Pinecone, so pinecone.io, and you go on the pricing, you see that there is a free tier, so you can start free, and you can have up to 2 gigabytes of storage, and then write units and read units all the way, you're good. So this is a setup I'm not going to do because I'm trying to demonstrate the AWS services, of course, but if you wanted to stay free, I would recommend Pinecone. Now, I'm going to pay some money for what I'm going to do right now, but I'm going to do a quick create with a new vector store because this is going to use Amazon OpenSearch Serverless, which is an AWS service and something they most likely want you to use. Other services on AWS, for example, is Amazon Aurora. But so we're going to do a quick create of a new vector store. And actually, you can see that even though they say it's cost efficient, I really don't believe it. So for Amazon OpenSearch serverless pricing, it's used by computing OCU, and you have a minimum billable of 2 OCUs. And OCUs are quite expensive. So you get $0.24 per OCU per hour, which is around $172 per month. So it's quite expensive. And then you also pay for the storage. And so what I want to say is that we are going to be conscious in this course and make sure that we delete open source service right after using it. So we'll pay a minimal amount if you do the hands-on with me. Again, good for you to know. And if you follow along and you create a vector store with me on Amazon OpenSearch Serverless, you are going to pay some money. So please don't forget to delete things. Otherwise, this is going to be a very sad moment. Okay, so let's click on Create Knowledge Base. And now we're good to go. Again, you will get an error if you're not using an IAM user. So this was very important to do. So this will take a little bit of time, and I'm going to pause the video until we are done. Okay, so my knowledge base is now created, and I can click on Go to Data Sources to have a look at it. So it says that yes, my data source is available. And then what I'm going to do is click on it and then sync it to perform a synchronization of the data that I have in my S3 bucket to my database in OpenSearch. So as you can see here, I can click on OpenSearch service and have a look at it and confirm that on the left-hand side under dashboard, I have access to my collection, which is my Bedrock knowledge base. So it's pretty cool. So I want to show you a little bit how this works. This is obviously way advanced knowledge, but I'm always curious. So if you click on this collection, you can see right here that we have access to our endpoint, and we have an open source dashboard URL that we can look at to look at what's within our collection. And we can have a look as well at indexes to see that an index was created, and there's one vector with 6 documents. So if we go into OpenSearch dashboards, and here we are, so we can visualize our data. So to do it, we go on the left-hand side under Discover, and then you have Index Pattern. So we click on Create Index Pattern, and then we paste this name of the index in here, click on Next Step, and then Create Index Pattern. This is we can tell OpenSearch dashboards to look for our data. And here we can see all the fields that were created automatically by Amazon Bedrock. So this is very handy. Now let's go in here and go here. We click on dashboards. We go, into Discover. And then we can have a look here into our knowledge base. And here we have access to the actual vectors. So this is some information around what was the text chunk of my PDF that is in here, what is the ID, and then what is the actual Bedrock knowledge base vector. And so all these numbers were created by the embeddings model. So this is advanced, I know, but I want to show you the deep down things of how it works. Basically, my document was chunked, and then for each chunk, a vector was created. And so you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chunks right now for my document. But bottom line now, I can go into Amazon Bedrock, and I can start testing my knowledge base. So let's configure a model. We're going to take, for example, again, Anthropic Haiku or Sonnet. Let's apply it. Perfect. And here we say, who invented the World Wide Web? Click on Run. and then it's going to retrieve and generate a response. As you can see, we have pretty much the same answer as before. And in terms of sources, we can see that now we have a link to evolution of the internet detailed point PDF. And if I click on it, this takes me directly into Amazon S3, into my PDF file that I have uploaded. So it's quite cool because now we have set up a full RAG. And if you wanted to set it up properly, you would add more documents, of course, in your Amazon S3 bucket, and then you would click on the sync button. So it's here we've practiced how to use RAG. So I'm going to clean it up. And to do so, I delete the knowledge base. So click on delete and it's going to delete the knowledge base. But this doesn't delete your open search database. So let's wait for this to be done. And next, so this was very quick. And next, let's go into open source service. And under here for this collection, you're going to delete it. Otherwise, this will incur some cost in the long run. So that's it. We've practiced creating an open search serverless database. We have created a knowledge base. We've uploaded some files onto Amazon S3. You can keep your S3 bucket running. This is fine. This is not going to cost you anything. And then we were able to demonstrate how knowledge bases and RAG works. So I'm very excited. This was a long hands-on and very advanced, I know, but good to see. I hope you liked it. And I will see you in the next lecture.